Hello and welcome to part one of the DocuSign to Broker Central dynamic document integration process. In this tutorial, we'll be looking at how to log into the DocuSign servers, execute documents, and have them automatically pass through to Broker Central. As you can see, we're already logging into DocuSign. You use your email address for your username, and you use your favorite password as your password. Once you are logged into the site, you're given the opportunity to compile a new envelope. The envelope is a document or collection of documents that you'd like to pass around for execution to target recipients. You select documents by browsing whatever directory you keep these types of documents in. Here I'm choosing the 1235 Peachtree Seller's Disclosure, and that will be the document that I'm going to route to my recipients. To choose your recipients, you just move next to the Recipients tab, and just like an email, you choose one or more recipients. Again, you can have multiple documents and multiple recipients and execute a large transaction with multiple documents in a single pass. Very convenient for all involved. After selecting your recipients, you go through the messaging, which is the obvious subject that helps your recipients understand what it is that they're receiving in email. Very straightforward. You add notes. You've got the ability to add notices and alerts. And further down the fields, you have the custom fields in the red boxes there, which are vital for the Broker Central process. That is the routing where you choose contractor listing to drive it into the right individual in the branch, office, or market center. Add the street number and street name to facilitate filing and execution in the system. And you choose the branch ID, which actually drives the document into the right physical location. Very important. It's all automated. It goes where it's supposed to go on its own. This stage of the process, what we're doing is we are looking at the form that we are going to send out for execution. We're looking at the various locations where you need signatures. We're going to keep it simple. One signature on one field, but you could race through the entire document and put initials, dates, signatures for one or more recipients, and have the form or forms executed by one or more parties as needed to have a fully executed document. The good news, before you hit send, you always have the opportunity to review your work, make sure that your notes make sense, that you've got your fields filled out correctly, signature spots in the right place, and when you feel comfortable it's all correct, you hit send, and off she goes. In part two of the process, we are now the DocuSign document recipient, and going into email, we see that we have a new message. We open it, and it directs us to the DocuSign site, whereby we follow the instructions provided, logging in, agreeing to the terms, and agreeing to the signature the system has selected for us, or we're able to choose our own from a list. Once we're in the document, we can hit start, and the solution guides us to the locations where we are to sign and approve. At the end of the approval process, we can then download the document, view it, take our time, and make sure that we're perfectly comfortable before we say done. And at this point, we have received, signed, and approved the document as requested by the agent. In part three of our process, we are now the Broker Central user in charge of looking for new inbound documents, either scanned or automatically forwarded to us from DocuSign. I open my contract inbox. I see that I have a document for 1235 Peachtree, which is the one that we have been using in our example up to this point. I simply review, recognizing it's from 1235 Peachtree. I select Start, and the system gives me the opportunity to do a simple database lookup. Using the first few characters of the street address, I search the database, and I find the exact match for 1235 Peachtree Street, and I have the opportunity to select OK, and this associates this document with pending transaction data in our systems. The next step for me is to select the document type from a drop-down list. I recognize it as a seller's disclosure, and I can either begin to type seller's disclosure and it'll automatically populate, or I can go to a drop-down list and find seller's disclosure and make the selection there. In either instance, this document is now associated with the 1235 Peachtree Street transaction records in my systems, and it is recognized as the seller's disclosure. In part 4 of our process, we are now the broker or compliance individual at the brokerage in charge of reviewing the documents for accuracy. The document is now handed off from DocuSign, moved to Broker Central, filed into the correct transaction package, and here I am. I'm looking at the work packages in my queue or my work packages, and this is the work that I'm responsible for. I have a global view of all my transaction packages, allowing me to sort by package type, so I can differentiate between contract and listings. I can sort by classification, allowing me to see short sales versus traditional transaction documents. I can sort by due date, allowing me to prioritize my work. Very important if I have hundreds or even thousands of pending transactions that I'm working. And I'm going to select 1235 Peachtree because that street address was in bold, which indicates that there are unreviewed documents in the file. On the left, I have my checklist. These are the required documents for the file, and on the right, I see the names of the documents that are ready for review. The green check mark opens up one or more documents, however many are unreviewed, allowing me to go page by page through this seller's disclosure and review the document same as I normally would in a paper environment, looking for signatures, dates, proper verbiage, everything that's necessary to have a proper document in my transaction file. As I complete my inspection, I have the opportunity to approve or reject the document. In this instance, we are approving and indicating that good job has been done. And upon doing this, selecting OK, the document is now approved, and I am given that indication in my transaction package with a green thumbs up and a time and date stamped approval by the broker. As I select OK, all of the notes I have taken and adjustments to the files are stored, and I now have a complete record. In the final stage of our process, we're the agent that is now interested in seeing the updates to the files submitted previously through DocuSign. The assumption is it's gone through the compliance review process, and I want to see the results online from the convenience of my home. And as I log in, the system recognizes me and presents my pending transactions, differentiating me from other agents. I choose the 1235 Peachtree Street file. I see the seller's disclosures in the file. I see that I have a thumbs up from the broker and attaboy for my efforts, and I optionally select the document to look at the individual pages. I can advance using thumbnails to page 6 where the signatures lie. I have the ability to zoom in, navigate the file, see the work. If there were notes from the broker, I could adjust accordingly, download the file or reinitiate it and resubmit. So in summary, we have documents submitted to buyers or sellers for signature, documents signed and submitted through DocuSign to Broker Central, reviewed by compliance, and completed and accessible by the agent online.